Hey guys, it's Ergo the Lowly Human, and it's deck tech time since we made Mythic last season. So we made all the way or reached all the way to number 9, which was insane. We'll get to some of those matches in a bit, but first, let's talk about the deck. So this is Selesnya tokens. And here we go. So most of you probably have an idea of how the deck runs. So instead of card advantage, our strategy is prioritized in board advantage, hence the tokens name, which is the token strategy. So how do we do that? Well, we have cards that create multiple creatures, cards like Saproling Migration. So you can create 2 Saprolings for 2 to cast, and potentially create 4 Saprolings in the late game. And we also have cards like March of the Multitudes. So very strong card in the late game. Just swarm the board. If you have a ton of mana, a ton of creatures, then make a ton more. And just overwhelm the opponent with your army. Then we also have Trostani. So Trostani is a very good card in the deck. She is an Anthem effect, pumps all of your other creatures, and makes 2 other tokens with lifelink. And actually the static ability or the NCEP ability is now relevant since opponents, or there are more and more players using Mass Manipulation, Hostage Taker, even the Thief of Sanity. Or even the Command the Dreadhorde. So if your opponent tries to Command the Dreadhorde your creatures, then you can follow up with the Trostani and get back your creatures at the end of your turn. So think of maybe pushing her to 3, although I still have to debate which to cut for her. Okay, and we also have creatures that make tokens over time. So cards like Flip Legion's Landing, so you can keep creating tokens every turn. Create a 1/1 vampire token with lifelink for 3 to activate. And then we also have History of Benalia. So this saga makes 2 knights and pumps them up over the course of 3 turns. And we also have Emara, Soul of the Accord. So whenever she's tapped, you can make a 1/1 soldier creature token with lifelink. So how do you tap her? Well, you can attack, or you can use convoke cards like the Tribunal or Venerated Loxodon. Then our deck also has Anthem effects, which enables our go wide strategy to also become go big. So go big and go wide. Best of both worlds. So our Anthem effects, well, I already talked about Trostani, Venerated Loxodon, and we also have Ajani. His -2 enables you to pump your entire team. And Unbreakable Formation. Actually, this is a card I'm also considering cutting to 1, since there are less mass removals now in the meta. So we could probably -1 that and maybe put in another Trostani, or put in a 4th landing or 3rd Lorien Enforcer. Well, speaking of Lorien Enforcer, this is one of the newest additions in my deck. I think he's pretty cool in the deck since he's only 1 to cast, so basically a free convoke card. He locks on your opponent's biggest creature and can even tap Emara and make a token in a pinch. So if your opponent has a big creature, you can attack with Emara, then just use the lore, tap your Emara, keep making tokens. And then there's Gideon Blackblade. Well, he's strong on his own. He is a threat. Every turn, there's a 4/4 indestructible trying to run over your opponent. And it's a very good follow-up with Emara. Since you can make Emara indestructible, then Emara is free to attack, and you can make a token once Emara taps to protect Gideon. So they do support one another very well. And another of the key additions in the deck is the Immortal Sun. So this is a 6 to cast artifact. players can activate Planeswalker's loyalty abilities. Beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card, and spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, and creatures you control get +1/+1. So many abilities in just one card. And it is key right now since there are so many Super Friends decks out there. So Immortal Sun can just get you a win out of nowhere. So, Anthem effect, check. Card advantage, well, it's basically one of our very few card advantage cards in the deck. Then anti-Planeswalker decks, check. So pretty awesome. We only have 1/6/6 to cast. We want to be as fast as possible in the first game. Right, so here are the sideboards. Just give a quick overview. So we put in Remorseful against those graveyard decks, against Command the Dreadhorde decks, even the Azcanta decks or Tamiyo decks, yeah, the one that wants you to put cards in your graveyards. So that's Dreadhorde, Azcanta decks. I'm sure there are a couple more which I am forgetting. And we have Tocatli Honor card. I think this is the most used card in my sideboard since I put him in against red deck wins, against those Pyromancers, those Goblin Chain Whirlers. Also put him against basically any deck that uses Explore with the Wild Growth Walker. So that's Command the Dreadhorde deck, Sultai midrange, even Bant. I believe some Bant versions have Wild Growth Walker and Explorers. And it also nerfs that Frillwood Mystic. So no counter spell for you. And even Detention or Deputy of Detention, that's gone. Sorcerer. And we have one off Crawl Harpooner. But originally I had 3 since there were so many mono blue decks out there. Now they are gone. They're not particularly effective in the meta, I believe. So we have cut it to 1. There's Slaughter the Strong. I put him in a lot of matchups, definitely against Stompy decks. And even against mono white decks. Because it's called a weenie deck, but their creatures get bigger and bigger. They have a lot of Anthem effects. They have Benalish Marshal. We also have the Loxodon. So Slaughter the Strong could just turn the match around. Let's make them sacrifice most of their creatures. And we have Knight of Autumn. Well, definitely this is a flexible card. Enchantment Hate, Artifact Hate, Life Gain, and can just be a 4/3 creature when you need it. Binding Shalai. Huatli. Well, Huatli I put in against control matchups as well as Shalai. Since Hexproof is very relevant, they can't target you with their card. And this is also good against red deck wins. Of course, they have to kill Shalai first before they can burn you or your other creatures. And actually, if they have a Chandra, the new Chandra, if you attack Chandra with Shalai or any of your other creatures, they actually can't damage you since you have Hexproof. So they have no choice but to damage your own Planeswalker. Usually Chandra. It's a pretty neat tech against that deck. Yeah, we have Lyra, of course, lifelink, big creature against red. It's also good against Gruul, since they don't really have a lot of flyers. And another Immortal Sun. So that's it for the deck. So let's go ahead and go to some matches. So first match is against Jeff Hoogland. Let's show that out. So this is against Jeff Hoogland, MCQW Day 1. Not sure about this hand, but we're on the draw. I suppose we will draw a land. So this is keepable. Here we go. Looking very good for this win. 2 mana. A lone gutter bones. Oh, we're up against Jeff Hoogland. Wow, Hoogland. Yeah, he's a famous streamer. I just noticed it right now. Man, he is unlucky with these lands. Yeah, I should follow him on Twitch. Sweet, so we're at 5-1. Alright, so this match didn't really tell us anything since he was having land problems. But man, Jeff Hoogland, we got to play against the actual Jeff Hoogland. So it's pretty awesome. Okay, so enough about that. Let's move on to the actual matches. Okay, loading up. Please wait a bit, so let me check. Oh yeah, so first match, we're up against... Oops. Here we go. Versus Red Deck wins. So this game or this match showcased the bad and good that our deck has against Red Deck wins. In one game, we couldn't cast anything since he burned our early plays. We needed at least one creature to live so we could convoke. So we're stuck with a bunch of cards in hand. And also showcased the good. So it just showed that if we're able to survive the Zergling Rush and get our key cards out, then chances are we win the game. Right, so here we go. Red Deck wins. All right. So pretty nice match. Went all the way to 3 games. So next up, we're up against Bant Ramp. Also another very very epic match. So this shows how important our sideboard is. I mean, we can't aggro if our opponent gains a gazillion life due to One Goat Walker. Then late game, you can just finish us off with a Monster, Crazes, and or Nisa. So we need to put in some cards that could disrupt that strategy. So I think at one point in this match, our life total was down to 3. Our opponent had 14 power on the board against our 4 power worth of creatures. But then one sideboard card enabled us to turn the game around. So check it out. Here it is. Ban to ramp.
Sorry I'm late. I'll protect you. I will defend the weak at every opportunity. Your light will cleave the darkness. Trust me, I have a plan. I believe in you. So that's how you're going to happen. I am not quite indestructible.
Alright, so I was sweating that match till the end. But man, Slaughter the strong for the win. And he had to sacrifice everything else except the definitive detention since he didn't want us to get our conclave tribunal, which we would use to get back our Trostani and establishing even more board presence. It was just a crazy game. Alright, so for our next match, I believe we were up against, or actually, this is the last match. Up against Timur Midrange. Wait, this is. Yeah, it's not the text I'm looking for. Timur Midrange. So. Basically, this match was a grind. It was insane. I believe in one game, both of us had like 5 creatures in play, and then that was on turn 5. And our life totals were still at 2018. This match shows our deck's best game in the late game, and there are just certain top decks in the deck like March or Immortal Sun that can eventually net us the win. So here we go, against Timur Midrange. And boop, yep, that is it. Loading.
I wish you could see your face when I'm beating you. Come and destroy! What's that? Something smells rotten. Wait, that might be me.
No, I don't need a degree to know this ain't love at first sight. 'Cause I know how this works. I got my ABCs right. Oh, so let's play pretend. Say you'll be the one for me. Say you'll be the one for me forever. I know this will end. But you'll be the one for me. Say you'll be the one for me. It's been so long since I got to close to someone. I know this ain't love, so let me stay a while. And pull me closer tonight. Keep holding my hand. I know this ain't love, so
Oh, what? Can't finish the job?
let me stay a while. I said let me stay a while. Let me stay a while.
There'll be nothing but dust when I'm done.
I said let me stay a
We won't answer out of the deals.
Never say never, but I never thought I'd find someone like you. What could be better than a friend to fall into?
Oh, I wish you could see your face when I'm beating you.
sunset through the hills, back to that spot we used to chill. My heart will always be here for ya, but I got lost in California. I chased the sunset through the hills, back to that spot we used to chill. My heart will always be here for ya, but I got lost in California. Never say never, but I never thought I'd wonder where you are.
Rules of the Putnam. They can only punish you if they catch you. More wild beasts will bring your comeuppance. You realize I do not stand firm. With me! Any skirmish you can walk away from, right? If I have to light the way, I will. Beasts are much more reliable than humans. You fight like a city brat. Now do you see the benefits of peace? I'll be back, just like before. Turn back while you still can. proportionals. Let's get started. That's the sound of a stampede coming straight at ya. No, no, put me back in!
Wow. Another crazy tree gamer. What is up with these three games? But in game one, we almost had that game if we didn't draw that Roalesk and make that craziest lethal damage for us. We did have a March of the Multitudes and an Ajani in hand, so I think we could have won the next turn. Could have end step March probably around 8 tokens, then pop them all up and swing for the win. Oh, at least we still got the win. So that is what's important. Well, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please follow our Twitch and our Facebook platforms. So Facebook is Ergo Gamer. Twitch is ErgoBert. Hope you guys enjoyed the deck tech. May the spark be with you.